Today, I want to give you a thing that might seem simple but is incredibly powerful. It's a key to unlock your potential, a seed that can grow into a towering tree of success and fulfillment. This thing, my friends, is the belief in one powerful statement: I am enough. Let me share with you a story about a young man named Tom. Tom worked in a small grocery store in a quiet town, much like where many of us have come from. Every day, he saw people from different walks of life, some successful, some struggling, but all with their own stories. Tom often wondered, looking at his own life, am I enough compared to them? You see, Tom's question is something that many of us face. It's a reflection of our doubts, our fears, and our insecurities. But what if I told you that the moment Tom started to believe that he was indeed enough, everything changed for him? His work didn't change overnight, nor did his town, but the way he saw himself transformed completely. Why do I tell you Tom's story? Because it's not just his. It could be anyone's, it could be yours. Believing that you are enough doesn't mean you're perfect or that you have all the answers. It means recognizing your own value, your strengths, and your potential. Let's think about this. What does enough look like? It's not about having the most money, the biggest house, or the fanciest car. Being enough means standing tall in your own shoes, knowing that you have something unique to offer the world, something that no one else can. Imagine how different our lives could be if we acted with the confidence that comes from knowing we are enough. We would take on challenges with courage, step into opportunities with excitement, and face setbacks with the strength to try again. So, my friends, as we share this time together, I invite you to join me in embracing the truth that you are enough. Not because I say so, but because it's the reality of your existence, the foundation of your potential. Let's carry this belief in our hearts and let it guide our actions, our decisions, and our journey through life. Remember, the journey to believing in yourself starts with a simple step, a step of acceptance, a step of understanding, a step of knowing that being enough is not just an idea, but a reality for each one of us. In our quest to understand what it means to truly be enough, let's delve into the essence of self-worth. Self-worth, my friends, is the internal sense of being complete, not because of external achievements or the applause of the crowd, but because of who we are at our core. Let's consider the story of a famous artist, Vincent van Gogh. Van Gogh lived a life marked by struggles, selling only a single painting in his lifetime. Yet today, he's celebrated as one of the greatest painters in history. Was he enough during his lifetime, or did his worth only come with recognition? The truth is, Van Gogh was always enough because his value didn't lie in his fame or the sale of his paintings. It lay in his incredible talent and vision. This brings us to a vital question. How do we measure our worth? Is it by the standards of the world, or is it something intrinsic, something that lies within us, I believe? And I want you to consider this, that our worth is like the deep roots of a tree, unseen but crucial for its growth and survival. Historically, society has often measured a person's value by their success, wealth, or position, but these are external validations, changing and fleeting. Philosophical insights teach us something different. The ancient Greek philosopher Socrates once said, "An unexamined life is not worth living." He wasn't talking about wealth or status, but about knowing oneself, understanding one's values, and living by them. This, he proposed, is where true worth lies. Now think about your life. How often have you felt pressured to meet someone else's expectations? How frequently have you judged your value based on your job, your bank account, or your social status? We've all been there, measuring ourselves with a scale that fails to reflect our true essence. But here's a different perspective. Consider self-worth as your internal compass, guiding you through life's challenges and successes with a sense of integrity and purpose. It's not about how high you climb, but how deeply you connect with your true self. Reflect on this. When you face difficulties or setbacks, what is it that keeps you grounded? Isn't it the belief in your abilities, your values, and your vision? This belief is the bedrock of self-worth. It's knowing that you are enough, not because of what you achieve, but because of who you are. Let's bring another historical figure into our discussion, Abraham Lincoln. He faced numerous failures and rejections in his life, but he never doubted his worth. His self-belief, rooted in his principles and vision for his country, led him to become one of the most respected presidents in American history. So how do we cultivate this sense of self-worth? It starts with self-reflection and understanding. Know your strengths and acknowledge your weaknesses, not with judgment, but with compassion and a desire to grow. Define your values and live by them, even when faced with challenges or temptations to stray. In our daily lives, it's easy to get caught up in comparisons, to look at others and question our path. But remember, each person's journey is unique. Your worth is not a race or a competition. It's a personal narrative, a story of growth, resilience, and authenticity. In our exploration of self-worth and the journey to believing in our enoughness, we encountered two towering myths that society often presents as truths. The myths of perfection and success. Let's unravel these myths and discover the real fabric of a fulfilling life. Perfection is often painted as a flawless state, a pinnacle of achievement where mistakes are absent and everything aligns precisely. But let's pause and reflect. Can you think of any person, any entity, or any moment in history that's been utterly perfect? Even in nature, it's the irregularities in a pearl, the asymmetry in a leaf that enhance beauty and intrigue. Consider the story of a renowned pianist, known for his exquisite performances. Once during a concert, he played a complex piece flawlessly, except for a single misplaced note. The audience, however, was mesmerized, not by the pursuit of perfection, but by the passion and emotion he conveyed. The misplaced note didn't detract from the beauty. It made the performance more human, more relatable. Similarly, the myth of success often suggests that a successful life is a linear ascent to the top, where wealth, power, and accolades await. But is that the whole story? Let's delve into the life of a successful entrepreneur, someone who built a global company from the ground up. His journey wasn't a straight line of triumphs, but a roller coaster of highs and lows, successes and failures. It was his resilience, his ability to learn from setbacks, that truly defined his success, not the final tally of his wealth or achievement. Now think about your own experiences. How often have you felt the pressure to be perfect, to succeed according to a prescribed standard? We live in a world that often values the end result more than the journey, the accolades more than the experience. But it's in the process, in the learning and growing through our endeavors, that we find true value and meaning. Let's debunk these myths by embracing the beauty of imperfection and the richness of a journey marked by growth and resilience. Success is not just about reaching a destination. It's about how we navigate the journey, how we evolve, and how we contribute to the world around us. Reflecting on historical figures like Thomas Edison, we see a man whose inventions changed the world. Yet he famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." His journey was not one of immediate, flawless success, but one of persistent experimentation and learning. And what about the concept of failure in this context? Is failure the opposite of success? I argue that failure is not the antithesis of success, but an integral part of it. Every misstep, every setback provides valuable lessons that pave the way to deeper understanding and achievements. In our lives, we should strive not for the unattainable perfection, but for authenticity and continuous improvement. In doing so, we can redefine success on our own terms, recognizing that it's our efforts, our resilience, and our authenticity that truly define our worth and achievements. Let go of these myths. Embrace your journey with all its imperfections and setbacks. Recognize that in the tapestry of life, every thread, whether colored by success or dyed by failure, contributes to the strength and beauty of the whole. Building inner confidence is like cultivating a garden. It requires time, care, and the right nutrients to flourish. So let's unpack how we can nurture this essential quality within ourselves. Firstly, understanding the roots of our confidence is crucial. Confidence is not something that appears out of the blue. It's built on the bedrock of our past experiences, our successes, and how we've navigated challenges. Remember a time when you achieved something you initially doubted you could? That's the seed of confidence. Now, how do we water this seed? By setting small, achievable goals. Success breeds success, and each small victory is a step towards greater self-assurance. It's not about grandiose achievements, but consistent, daily actions that reinforce our sense of capability. Let's consider the story of a young woman named Emily. She dreamt of being a writer, but was overwhelmed by the idea of writing a book. So she began with a simple blog, writing daily posts. Over time, her small successes built up, and eventually, she not only wrote her book, but became a best-selling author. Her journey underscores a powerful message. Confidence grows in the doing, step by step. But what about when times are tough? How do we maintain confidence amidst adversity? Here's where resilience plays a pivotal role. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from setbacks, and it's fortified by a mindset that views challenges as opportunities to learn and grow. It's about asking, what can this experience teach me, rather than why is this happening to me? In the face of difficulties, maintaining a positive dialogue with ourselves is crucial. Negative self-talk can erode confidence, while affirmations can fortify it. Instead of saying, I can't handle this, shift to, I have handled challenges before and I can do it again. This subtle change in language can dramatically shift our mindset and bolster our inner strength. Let's also talk about the role of preparation in building confidence. Consider a public speaker who captivates the audience with ease. This skill is often the result of hours of preparation. They rehearse, research their topic, and anticipate questions. Similarly, in our lives, thorough preparation for any task can significantly boost our confidence. Being well prepared reduces anxiety and enhances our sense of control and competence. Moreover, surrounding ourselves with supportive people plays a critical role in nurturing our self-belief. Just as a tree thrives in fertile soil, our confidence grows in an environment that is encouraging and affirming. Seek out mentors, friends, and colleagues who believe in you and reflect back your potential, especially in moments of doubt. Another practical step is to practice mindfulness and self-care. Stress and burnout can undermine confidence, making challenges seem insurmountable. Mindfulness techniques like meditation or deep breathing can help center our thoughts and reduce anxiety, providing a clearer perspective on our abilities and strengths. In cultivating confidence, let's not forget the power of learning and personal development. Knowledge not only expands our horizons, but also enhances our self-esteem. Invest in learning new skills, reading widely, and exploring new areas of interest. Each new piece of knowledge or skill you acquire is like adding a layer of strength to your foundation of confidence. Lastly, embracing vulnerability is paradoxically a way to build confidence. Acknowledging that we don't have all the answers, that we're works in progress, allows us to be authentic and open to growth. It's in recognizing our vulnerabilities that we can truly connect with others and strengthen our self-belief. In our journey through life, one of the subtlest yet most pervasive challenges we face is the reliance on external validation. We often look outside ourselves for confirmation of our worth, our success, and our value. But let me share with you why this path is fraught, with peril in how we can turn inward to find a more stable and fulfilling sense of validation. Think about a time when you sought approval from others, maybe through social media likes, job promotions, or even in personal relationships. Did that approval truly satisfy you? Or was it like a fleeting sugar rush, quickly dissipated, leaving you craving more? This is the nature of external validation. It is transient and often beyond our control. And consider the story of a talented young artist who produced incredible work. Initially, he created purely for the joy of it, but as he gained fame, his focus shifted. He started creating art that he thought would sell. That would please the critics, and that would fetch the highest prices. Over time, his original passion waned. His work became a means to an end, the end being validation from the external world. His reliance on this external approval not only diluted his creativity, but also his happiness and sense of self-worth. So how do we shift from this external dependency to internal metrics of success? It starts with defining what success means to us personally, not as society dictates, but as we see fit for our lives. What are the values that you hold dear? Is it creativity, integrity, compassion, or perhaps lifelong learning? By identifying these core values, we can set our own standards for success. Creating personal goals based on these values is the next step. These goals should be intrinsic, motivated by our deepest desires and aspirations, not by the desire to impress or outdo others. When we achieve these goals, the satisfaction we feel is profound and lasting because it resonates with our deepest sense of self. Another technique to foster internal validation is mindfulness and reflection. Taking time to reflect on our achievements, learnings, and growth helps us appreciate our journey and recognize our worth. This practice can be as simple as keeping a journal, meditating, or spending quiet time in nature, all of which can help anchor our sense of self. Moreover, learning to accept and celebrate our imperfections is crucial. The quest for external validation often stems from a fear of inadequacy or a belief that we're not enough unless we meet certain external standards. However, embracing our flaws and recognizing them as facets of our unique journey can liberate us from the shackles of external approval. We should also seek feedback constructively, not as a validation of our worth, but as a tool for growth and self-improvement. Constructive feedback sought from trusted mentors or peers can be invaluable in helping us hone our skills and become better versions of ourselves without tying our worth to the opinions of others. Additionally, practicing gratitude can significantly shift our focus from what we lack, which often drives the need for external validation to appreciating what we have. This shift in perspective can foster a sense of abundance and self-sufficiency, reducing the craving for external approval. In navigating the challenge of external validation, let's consider the story of a renowned scientist. His groundbreaking research wasn't initially recognized, and he faced rejection and skepticism. However, his belief in the value of his work was unwavering. Years later, his contributions were acknowledged with a Nobel Prize. But his fulfillment didn't come from the prize itself. It stemmed from his deep-seated belief in his work and its value to the world. In our discussion about growth and self-realization, there's a pivotal element we must address: the role of failure in personal development. Failure, often seen as the antagonist in our life story, is in reality one of the most effective teachers and stepping stones to success. Let's delve into the lives of those we admire, the successful figures who've shaped our world. Their biographies are not just narratives of triumph, but sagas of perseverance through failure. Take, for instance, Thomas Edison. His journey to invent the light bulb was paved with over 1,000 unsuccessful attempts. Yet, he famously remarked, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." Edison's perspective transforms failure from a dead end to a vital step in the journey of discovery and success. Reflect on your own experiences. Isn't it true that the lessons we learn from what doesn't work often guide us to the right solutions? Failure is not the opposite of success. It's an integral part of the journey to achieving it. Consider the story of a young writer who received countless rejections for her manuscript. Each rejection could have been seen as a failure, yet she persisted. That writer, J.K. Rowling, eventually published Harry Potter, a series that became a global phenomenon. Her early failures were not obstacles, but essential chapters in her story of success. How then can we embrace failure? as a catalyst for growth, first by changing our perspective. Instead of viewing failure as a negative endpoint, see it as feedback, an opportunity to learn and refine our approach. When something doesn't work out, it's not a signal to give up, but a sign to reevaluate and try again, armed with new insights. Second, by fostering resilience. The ability to bounce back from setbacks is crucial. Resilience is not an innate trait, but a skill that can be developed through experience and the right mindset. Each failure builds our resilience, making us stronger and more adaptable in the face of future challenges. Moreover, sharing our failures and the lessons learned can be incredibly empowering, not just for ourselves, but for others. It creates a culture of openness and growth, where mistakes are not shamed, but recognized as part of the learning process. In embracing our failures, we also need to celebrate our small successes. Every step forward, no matter how small, is progress and should be acknowledged and celebrated. This reinforces our belief in our ability to overcome challenges and achieve our goals.